Yo, what is up? My name is Sven, and today I present to you the strongest 3x3 base you can build. Now, before we jump into the actual build, I would like to thank all of you guys for supporting the original shell v1 and v2. It's been truly amazing how many people are actually using this base and have been supporting by commenting, and it's honestly something I never expected when I uploaded the video. So thank you for that. If you haven't seen any of the shell base designs, please go check them out, especially the v2 one, as this upcoming 3x3 base is kind of based on the idea of the shell v2. It would definitely help out to check out that video and see how that's built. I'll be linking those videos to you in the description. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the base design. Hope you like those cinematics. Now let's jump straight into the building costs and upkeep. To simplify everything up, you're gonna need this blueprint, and this is the blueprint of the foundations of the base. I've also split it up in 3 different parts, which you can see now. And as you can see, we have the main TC, which is 1 TC, which is the main 3x3 honeycombed in red. Then in blue, we have the side number 2 TCs. That's 2 parts, so 2 TCs, 1 up and 1 down. And then on the left and right, we have the yellow, which is the 2 side number 1 TCs in yellow. And there's also 2 of those. Now, throughout the video, we're going to be referring to these 3 different parts. So please pay attention to the picture, as it might become useful to know which side or which part we're talking about. So with that in mind, let's jump into the upkeep and costs. Now again, we're not going to be talking about wood or stone, as we're building this straight away into metal. The base is completely modular. The only things that you want to upgrade to metal straight away is the honeycomb of the inner 3x3. For the rest, you can basically build everything in stone and upgrade it later on. So the total building costs, if you're building this in metal straight away, is 141,555 metal fragments. And depending on what you upgrade to armored, if you upgrade everything to armored that you're about to see in the preview of the base, it will cost you 2,038 HQM. Although again, it's completely upgradable later on, so you don't need actually this exactly to finish the base straight away. You can always upgrade later on. Now for upkeep, we're talking about the base having every single deployable, every single garage door, armored door, you name it. So for upkeep, for the main TC, on metal frags, we're about 17 to 18,000. And for the side TCs, for number 1, it's about 3 to 4,000. Remember, that's twice. And then also 6 to 7,000 for side number 2. It sounds very expensive. It is very expensive. Again, it's not a solo base or anything. But please keep in mind, it's split over TCs and it's just the initial farming. So when it comes to HQM, the main TC, if upgraded to the preview you're about to see, it's about 3 to 400 HQM a day in the main TC. But again, that's if you upgrade everything to armored that I did. For the side TC, it's if you're doing the walls that I recommend you to do, which you will see in a second, it's about 0 to 20 HQM for the side TCs, for all of them. Now that's it for upkeep and for the base overview. I will be linking those pictures in the description of the video if you want to save them. Might be useful. Now let me give you guys a little tour of the base. So before we jump into the build, I would like to go over a few examples of why I think this is the best 3x3, and I'll show you guys why. So initially it is a 3x3. It's not a disguised one, so it's not part of the disguised series. Although, as far as I know, as far as it goes to my experience, to what I have built, this is the strongest 3x3 you could build. Again, I already mentioned this, but it's not cheap. It is totally doable as a 6-man or as an 8-man or whatever. It's not doable as a solo or duo. So let me just go over and show you guys a few things. So first thing you notice is these 4 walls are armored, and that goes on all sides. And the reason why is so they can't splash damage here. They're gonna have to blow a door here, deal with that turret, and blow like here, or continue doors, which can be very expensive because they don't know where the door is that's going into your 3x3. So this is initially to slow the raiders down. It's very important to make these armored. The upkeep for it, just to have those armored, is basically nothing. It's like 20 high quality. So as you can see on the right, we have a metal door here. Now you would say, what is that? That's the bedrooms. Bedrooms are totally customizable. Make them however you want to. I use metal doors for them because they're not as important. I mean, you could say, yeah, they are super important. Although there's so many of them. There is 2 bedroom segments in this base. And you can literally spawn and go up into your inner peak downs from 2 angles. From both sides. And the same goes for downstairs. So you have insane amount of control. You have 2 places to spawn in case one of them gets corrupted. Or like gets raided. Although raiders are probably gonna raid on the long end. So the bedrooms on this base are very unique and very, very strong in my opinion. I like to indicate them with metal doors. Also because metal doors open and close faster. And also because there will be more doors after this to get to like all the beds. You will never have all the beds at once. It will be very expensive to raid beds. So yeah, that's why there's metal doors here. Now, this base is built into segments, and there's actually, if you count right, there's about 8 segments of the base. So if you're getting raided, because of the segments, the raiders never have full control over your base, or full control over your outer layer in any case. That goes the same for the peak downs. So if they raid, like, let's say this peak down here, they only have 1/4 of all the peak downs. You still have access to all the other inner peak downs, and you have multiple ways of taking back the inner peak down floor here by fighting through either doors or through windows. And you can fight from multiple angles as well. So that's really, really nice. The segments are definitely a thing I'm trying to do more in base builds now. It is very, very strong to separate your base. And it's almost costs nothing by doing so. You're basically just adding like 3 walls and your base is like split up. So I really, really recommend you guys to do this. And it's definitely something that makes this base also a lot stronger. Now, shooting floor, windmills. The reason there's triangles, by the way, on the windmills here is because that allows me to put them out a little bit further. Because if you're just having these squares, you're not able to place these windmills this close to each other. So this way you can still put 4 windmills on top of a 3x3. So remember that. Shooting floor is nothing special. Outer TCs are nothing special, but it's very important that you secure these very well. As they are such a big part of the base. That's basically it. Now let's jump into building the base. So once again, we're going to be building based on the principle that you're going to be building this on a wipe. Now, as you could see in the cost/upkeep graph, I did not include stone or wood, and that's mostly because the end product is gonna be full metal. So I'm gonna be building stuff straight away in metal. I'm not gonna be building stuff in stone and later on upgrading it, although that is something that you should probably do, or that you will probably do when you're playing this on a wipe. Now we're starting with a 3x3 starter, and it's a 3x3 starter that has a little variation to the just being a 3x3. So definitely watch and see how we start this build off. So for this base, you do not need a specific flat area, although it would be nice if you do. We're not working with any elevated foundations either, so you could technically build this anywhere. As long as you can pretty much get the original honeycomb 3x3 fundament down, you should be good to go. But I do really recommend to build on a flat area. So once again, build in the center of the flat area and build your normal 3x3. In this case, we're going to use a single door and we're going to put 2 triangles on these sides. Then we're going to wall everything off. Now in the wipe, you would probably put a door up there. You would probably also put TC down here, but in this case, I'm not going to be doing that yet. And we're going to have our way up right here. Now, I do like to build the way up already. So we're going to need a double door and a single door. Double door frame here. And we're sealing that off with roofs. Now, this is your starter, obviously with doors both there and there. The same starter as the shell v2. So from here, it's basically a bit varying what you want to do. You could honeycomb already. So let's just say you want to honeycomb already. Could add foundations like this all the way around. And then use walls to honeycomb, except for the side where the door is on. Now in this case, it would probably be smart to make your roof armored straight away. Remember, it's cheaper to upgrade armored roofs or ceilings, however you want to call them, before you do the walls. Unfortunately, at this point, we cannot really make a proper airlock yet. Actually, we can if you want to use a single door, but if you're a big group, I would put a double door here. It's not really an airlock, but it will function as one. For the rest, I would leave the doors how they are right now, and I would focus on building up before building out. Now, considering you're building this as a big group, you're gonna be wanting to build up for more storage. And we're basically putting on another floor with another way up right here. Because later on you can put turrets up there and under there. So way up, way down, sealed off. Again, a roof on top. There we go. So now we basically have our initial starter, I would say. So at this point, it depends on where you are in the wipe. Let's say you prioritized on doing oil rig, cargo, etc. instead of farming. You're probably going to have a tier 3. So what you want to do is build up first so that you can place your tier 3 and then build out with the multi-TCs. So if you do it the other way around and you're doing more of a farming thing, then we're going to probably build up either way, but we're going to have to leave some gap open, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And then we're going to be building and already connecting all the forward TCs going outwards before replacing the tier 3. Now, it is quite useful to continue on your honeycombing up already. All the way around. And we actually want to do that 2 stories. So we're going to have to do it like this, but we're leaving that one open. Now here you need to add roofs on top as well. You don't actually have to put the ceilings in here, but I would recommend it. Makes it a bit stronger. It's not that much more expensive. And in this case, we actually accidentally blocked off the way up. So let me just quickly fix that here. And also shouldn't place a wall on that side. So let's just say you're doing this in a wipe. What you want to do is put a frame here with a door and just put a door there. It's gonna look really weird, but you guys will see why in a second. Down here, for now, just put frames like this with roofs on top. Don't place the roofs in here. And then honeycomb up as well. Just so we have the initial room here for the furnaces. There you go. Put the ceiling on and then wall the rest off. Like that. But this is basically, I would say this is like your starter. The doors down here are a bit weird. Door up here is a bit weird. But that all gets fixed depending on how much more you farm and depending on how fast you're gonna get a tier 3. Now again, on top of here, we're putting a door. So as you guys have noticed, I haven't placed the TC yet. Now, in a wipe, you're gonna be putting the TC down here somewhere. But you're gonna end up moving it to the 3rd floor. I would really recommend to do this if you can. If not, it's fine to have it on the bottom floor, although I don't think it's as strong as having it on the 3rd floor. So in this case, I want to put my TC at the 3rd floor. If you have it at bottom floor, remove it and then replace it up here. It's very important you do this before you start adding the multi-TC honeycombing, so to say, the outer layer, where you move this TC upstairs. Now we're going to be placing the tier 3. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So for the tier 3, we're using the same trick again as on the shell V2. Now this one can be a pain to place. Remember to not put these walls. You can put a frame here, and at this point, hopefully, you're gonna have put a garage door already. I would recommend to put a garage door because sometimes you cannot put the garage door after you place the tier 3. So just place the garage door just in case, and then you're gonna have to place the tier 3 exactly as the way I place it right here. If you want to be on the safe side, move it towards you. Let's just be on the really safe side and just place it like, I would say, like this. You're gonna be putting a wall there, and then you want to rotate and put a wall there and a roof on top. And we have our tier 3, and we can close it off with a garage door. Over here, you're gonna put furnaces. But again, just like any other building video, I'm not gonna go and show you guys how to put furnaces, where to put boxes, building in stone. I skipped that whole part and show you guys straight away the deal and the base that we're building. Right, so at this point, now that you have a tier 3, your base is actually honeycombed and quite secure. Considering you're gonna have a tier 3, you're probably gonna be armoring stuff. And I would start with ceilings, then armoring up. How you lay out the inside here is totally up to you. Where you put the TZ, it's totally up to you. I'm not gonna show you guys, although you could refer to my example of how I build it in the intro where I showed the preview of the base. So refer to that for turret placement, box placement, walls, loot rooms, whatever. On the second floor, I like to have a long pathway as it just looks really, really nice. But it's not as strong as they could splash damage a lot of garage doors in there. But again, that's something that you're gonna have to decide yourself. Alright, so from top down, the base is gonna look like this. A simple honeycombed 3x3 with some door frames on this side. The rest all honeycombed in metal. Or whatever materials you have at that point. Now we're gonna be connecting the multi-TCs, and we're gonna proceed and do the same step all 4 sides. So I'm gonna show you guys one thing, and then you guys have to just repeat the same thing with me. Now, if you want to do this the safe and easy way, the easiest way is to put a triangle here and build 6 out. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a triangle. Then you remove these. And we're going back to the triangle, and we build 2 half moons back with another triangle. We remove these again. You'll see I can't remove that one, but that's fine. That's why we're okay. And then you're gonna build 2 more out, and you add another triangle on the end. Remove these, and then we just build back with half moons, followed with a square right there. And next to it. Now in a wipe you're probably gonna have stone, not metal straight away. So make these stone. In my case, we make them metal. Make sure you make these metal because they are fundamental. If someone destroys them, you're gonna have to do this whole step again and waste wood. So I would not recommend it. Now you wanna have these 2 triangles the same exact way all the way around on all 4 sides. So I'll see you guys when I'm done with that. Right, so here we are, and we have the same 2 triangles all the way around built out. So as you can see, there's like a tiny little gap here. So now the next thing to decide is where you want to have the long kind of side. And the long side is most likely where they will be raiding you from, if they're gonna raid you. So I would say, considering the TC is on that side, it's better to have the long side on that side and on that side, because we also have the door right here. So in my case, I'm gonna be putting the long side on this side. So that's here square, followed with a triangle, and doing the same on the other side. Square, triangle, square, triangle. So from top down, long side, 4 squares, 2 triangles on the sides. Same here. And for the other 2 sides, you're gonna have to put 2 triangles and then a square. 2 triangles and then a square. 2 triangles, then a square, and 2 triangles and then a square. Then for the airlock, you could put a what's it called? Square there, or a square like this. I'm gonna do it like that, as it will leave us with a centered door. So that's nice. There you go. So to connect the multi-TCs, you can do kind of what you wanted, but I like to build out 3 squares and then build a kind of like circular form, followed with a door, walls all around, roof on top. And the reason I'm extensively building the TC house like this and not like with a glass window and a triangle is mostly because as such a big part of the base, is connected to this TC, it's important that it's well secured. So you can build this the way you want to, although I would recommend that when you're building these, you should consider whether or not you're building a compound, because if you are building a compound, you want to make these into a gatehouse and not necessarily into this kind of thing. Otherwise, you're going to have to like build something weird next to it to go through. So keep that in mind. I'm going to be repeating the same thing on all four sides. And on this side, to make it look better, I use triangles to make a center and then build out. Would also like to bring up something here about multi-TCs and bases. Since the TCs could be really close to the main TC, just pressing E does not mean you automatically have authorized or you're automatically authorized. You actually have to hold E and press authorize manually. You want to do this because in some cases the TCs might overlap and cause it to like kind of bug out. So it's important that you actually manually do this. If you're building, you don't need to, but all your teammates should really tell them about this. So for the for that part of multi-TCing, we're done. The footprint is done. Now we're just going to be building upwards. And I'm going to start with adding another kind of layer of honeycomb, closing off the doors. Very important. So we're building up here. And just to close that off, putting roofs here. Make sure these roofs are attached to the inside, to the main TC, and not this wall right here. So there should be a gap, as you can see. Very important. As you can see from top, like that. And we repeat this step on all sides. And now your base is actually a lot stronger again, just by this little wall here. I would recommend to make this metal, because people could pick out and kind of like grief you. But that only really works if you're offline for like over a day. And considering you're building this kind of massive base, you're probably gonna have a team that's very active. So if people pick it out, just reconnect it. Should be fine. So now we're gonna make the front door area, and you can see we have a designated spot for that right here. Putting shop fronts in those, and then the way into the base kind of, and we seal that off with a roof. Repeat this on the other side as well. Something little, but something that I really like to do is I like to have the door on the right side from the inside, and I do the same on the other side, right side from the inside. I think this is very important because building a base like this with multi-TCs, there's going to be a lot of doors, and it could make it really confusing for your teammates to find their way around in the base. So once you've built the doorways, you could go ahead and continue with adding the first outer layer or the first floor. There you go, that's the first layer. Now let's go ahead and add the second layer as well, and you can see that I'm including the door/airlock in the base. And the reason I like to do that is to make bedrooms there. Considering you're building this base, you're probably going to be a 6-man or more, so you're going to need a lot of bedroom space, and having them above the airlock is actually very beneficial because one, it could give you direct access to bottom floor and top floor, and also it's like you don't have to waste any space in the main 3x3 by putting the bedrooms here. Also, they're less likely to blow like up here, or even if they blow doors, they won't actually get to your bedrooms. For example, they're probably gonna blow here, and there's not gonna be any bedrooms on either of these sides. So, yeah, that's why I like to do it like that. Let's add a third floor as well, real quick. Right, so now you're gonna have a base that's like this, and as you can see, I was referring to the long side, aka this side. And since it's so long and it's kind of like a rectangular shape and not really a square, I expect people would be raiding from here. They would probably blow like right there or maybe one floor higher. So that's why I call that the long side. If you refer back to an earlier part in the video, you would see why. So for the peak downs, one consistent thing that I like to do is have squares here, and also on the other side. That's step number one. At this point, it's easier to build up in here as well with doors and door frames and walls, and then put the peak downs on, rather than putting the peak downs on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I would really recommend that. So I'm gonna put a frame here, and here, here, and here, here, and here, and here, and here. And then from the inside here, you're gonna put, it's called walls. this one you're gonna leave, and you're gonna put a frame there as well. This will be the access into your 1 out of 4 bedrooms. So there's a door there, there, and there. I know it's really confusing when you look at it like this, but just follow me. Wall here, wall there, bedroom access. So bedroom access towards north, and bedroom access towards south, like that. Wall there, wall there, wall there, wall there, and then for here, we already put the walls. So now we're gonna build up. So the easiest is, let's just start with the north side. We're gonna just put walls like that, and then like that, and then 2 here, and on the other side as well, 2 here. Remove that. So now you can see we're kind of dividing the base into segments. And let's do the south side now, because that's exactly the same. So we're gonna do like this, and 2 up on the other side as well. So now we only have the west and the east side left. So let's start with the east side. Build up. There you go. And you're building up. This is basically how we're creating the segments, and they're very important in the strength of your base, actually. I really like having these kind of segments because it allows you to control the base a lot better if you're getting raided. So now we're going to be putting the peak downs. So you could consider building the peak downs in 2 ways. You could put the peak downs right now, or you could already put a wall around. I personally like to put a wall around first. So let's go ahead and do that. So there's a wall around, and now we have kind of more like secureness here. It could also help to already indicate the next way up. So let's do that. This will be the next way up. And let's start with the 2 long ends, so west and east. And let's start putting the peak downs here first. So important that in this base the peak downs are connected to the center, not on the outside. Mostly because if they're blowing the base from the outside, your peak downs will collapse, and in this case they won't. So we're building out like that, and make sure you're connecting it to the wall that's connected to the outside TC. Building out like that. You don't put this one. So basically like this, and you're doing the same on the other side too. Easiest way is to do the corners first. Actually, I'm stupid. Never mind. Put these first, of course. And then you're putting the corners. As you can see, the other way around, you won't be able to place it. So I would recommend to build the peak downs in Twig and then upgrade them to metal, just in case so you don't accidentally do stuff like that. So for the inside here, we're gonna put floors right there. That's the bedroom again, and also on the south side. And then we're gonna connect the peak downs again to the inside, like this. And the same here. Now for the, let's just call it the house corners. We're putting a triangle that's connected to main, square connected to main, square here, and the same here, same here, same there, and this will be a square, triangle. For this last final part, I like to have a rule that we connect it to south and north, aka the doorways. So we're connecting it, we can connect it to 3 parts right here. The west, but that's not gonna be, it's actually doable to do west as well. In this case, we're going to be connecting it to the door part, so that side. You can see there's 2 gaps, so it's connected to that side. This is like the overlapping triangle. That's how I like to call it, but that's how I like to refer to it. There you go. So that's basically the peak downs. So I can make a little overview here. Now you can notice that I left a gap open here. And you cannot put a square here or a triangle here because we put this one already. That's totally fine, unless you want to modify my version. But I'm going to have a bedroom access here, and there will be a ladder going up. So let's do the bedrooms now. We're going to be putting walls like that, door frame, and another wall. Let's say a window wall, door frame. And then we're doing the same on the other side. Two things about this. There's 4 bedrooms, you would say, and all 4 go down here. That's true. This whole area is like a connected bedroom, where if you, like, let's say the beds are all gonna be in here, you could spawn and go down here. You could spawn and go down there. Of course, there will be doors here and floors and ladders and all that stuff. You could also go up, go in here, or go up and go there. And that goes the same for the other side. This basically gives you so many respawn options that how I would recommend it is that you have your entire team has beds on that side and beds on that side. Because then it doesn't matter where they blow. They could even think that if they blow into your bedrooms, that they have your bed, but they don't. Because you always have the other side to spawn from as well. And you can always go up or down from both sides. So it doesn't matter where you're getting raided from. You can always fight back. And you always have kind of like a second chance. And that's very strong. And that's a very, very strong thing about this base. So to secure the inner peaks, what I like to do is use the windows again. And pick those up. Put them on the corners like this. Putting double door frames here. Here. Here and here. And as you could see before I put the peak downs, we're building in segments. Now, that allows you to, if for example this side gets raided, they only have this little part, aka 1 out of 8 kind of like segments of the base. So we're gonna do the same on the peak down floor. Let's just say they get peak downs. It's important that they don't get your entire peak downs. So to make this whole thing a lot more secure, we're putting window frames or window walls here again. And then we're putting a double door frame here and here. Basically dividing your entire inner peak down floor to 4 parts instead of 1 big part. And this is very important. So for the center, you could fill this up however you want. I like to do like this and like this. Actually, I like to do it like this. Sorry. The reason I like to put walls here and instead of leaving it open is because if people do actually end up raiding you and they're getting on the inner peak down floor, they cannot really like see what's your way down or up or anything, as they all look the same from the outside. So putting frame here, 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 basically everywhere on this floor. You're gonna be ending up with something like this. Now to fill this up, super simple. Start with the inside. Connecting the triangles. These triangles have to be connected to the inside. And then, once you have that, it's easy to do the bedrooms. And connect them with triangles like that. Do the same on the... Let's not do that one yet. Do the same on the other side. And now it's easy to do the squares on this side and on that side. And build them out left and right. Following with triangles. I might actually have said triangles where I was supposed to say squares. So sorry if I did. So for these, we're going to connect them to the main. Because we're following the pattern that's below. So main, main, and main. Same goes for those squares. And the triangles here, the weirdos, gonna be connecting to south and north. So like that. Like that. And for this part, we're gonna be connecting it to that side. I know there's no like really... Oh, here's the indication of why you should do that. So just follow the... whatever is built below. That's the easiest way to remember. And there we go. There we have inner peak down secured. I don't know why I left this open, but it's not supposed to be. And of course to like finalize it up, a way up. So you have roof access. At this point your base is like, it's pretty secure. Like you could get raided in this thing. You should be able to defend it. The only thing that we haven't really done right now is the bedrooms. So let's just go and do that before we build up and do the shooting floor. So the bedrooms again are very preference based. You can do whatever you want. Although I like to have a jump up here. Door frame. Close that off. Same on the other side, of course. I always mirror it in any case. Close that off. And in this case I like to have door frames going up like that. And door frames going up like that. Door frames like that. Like that. Floor there. So you have like some stories. Kind of. Same here. And then make a story here. So the idea is that you can put beds there if you wanted to. Could put beds here. You have this entire floor here, beds, and this entire floor as well. And then down here you have the way down. What you could do here is put a locker or a turret in case you do open this door. Although, since we have 8 segments dividing this base, you should be able to... Let's just say they're blowing and they blew this door. So it's kind of tricky to come out of this door. You still have 7 other options to come out of. Like, you can come out of this door right here. You can come out of this door up here, up there. Or you can spawn in on the other side and go from here. A lot of options. Very nice. So again, another thing that's very preference-based, the shooting floor. I couldn't really find out like a really nice way to do it. But this is kind of a nice way to do it. I guess it works, so why not? So what you want to do is start with the north and the west, north and the south side, like this. And then have a corner like that. Kind of like a pretty far sticking out thingy, let's say. And then one triangle here connecting that. Same here. And then for the like outside or the long side, put squares here. This is actually really nice because it allows you to shoot through. So you have the same kind of crack that you have in the inner peak downs up here as well. And what you can do here is kind of what you want, obviously. This is an easy or a nice way to do it. There you go. That's your layout for your shooting floor. So to make it easy to place all the doors and stuff, probably nice is to build frames. I like to do that for extra stability. You don't have to. There we go. And now we're gonna start putting the... Let's just start with the doors. Make sure the doors are always clipping to the right side of the opening. So like this one, this one, this one. And then we're putting the windows. If it turns out you cannot place a window, just place a frame like that for extra stability. There you go, that's the windows. Now for me, the easiest to do to finish up the shooting floor is to start with the outside roofs. So let's do that. Once you have done the outside roofs, you could actually do heli now, because you have quite some cover. I would recommend to make 2 ways up to the final floor and do that on the left and the right side. The reason I want to do 2 ways up instead of 1 is in case you're getting top down, or in case you need to get access or you're getting camped from your roof, you can go up 2 ways instead of just 1. And here we have kind of like another fake way, just so if people get to your shooting floor, they don't know what your way up or down is, because it all looks the same. There we go. Now to like finish that up, put like another window frames here, in each corner too, and then door frames. Door frames here, 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 here. And then, the best part about this base, the panic room. Center here. Like that. What I like to do is have the computer station here, where the computer station that controls the cameras in your base. Also, it's nice to put a box here. It's pointless to put a box with a TC because of the multi-TCs. You're not going to be able to place it anyway. So, that's pointless, but could put a box here with ceiling materials, maybe heavy plate, put an armored door here, armor this whole block up, and it's like a final last resort room where if you're getting raided, someone could sit in there and give callouts about where you're getting raided from. Then go ahead and close this off. Again, connect these triangles to the center. Not that one. And then let's finish the way up here quick. Now you see me putting like triangles kind of like in the way up and down all the time. I really like to do that because it's a very good way or place to put turrets. Especially if it's a drop down like this. This is a drop down. So to destroy that turret, someone probably has to sacrifice, or at least it slows the raiders down rather than having a turret that they could just peek rocket and the turret is gone. So I would recommend to do that. Now for the final part, let's follow the kind of like floor plan below again. So ceilings like this. And close that off. Squares on this side. Triangles here. Triangles here. Squares again. Squares again. Triangles and square. Square and triangles. Same on the other side. Square, triangles. This one connect to that one. And this one, follow the one below again. So it's the overlapping triangle again. Like this. Now you see me do this real fast, but feel free to slow down or rewatch. I kind of like know out of my head. I have a pattern in doing this, so that's why I'm doing it so fast. But it's very, very important to follow what's down here. Also because if you end up want to put like frames and that kind of stuff in here, you're still able to. Not all of them, but as you can see, cannot clip it to that one, but you can to this one. But it's very important. Just try to remember that when building this kind of bases. 2 big door frames here. That will be your heli spots. I like to have little single doors on the sides here in case you're getting camped on the roof and you need to go out quick. Better than opening a garage door in any case. And finish that up with windows here and here. And for the last part, it's basically really simple. Just to add extra stability, I'm putting frames the following way. So we can put the roof on. Like that. And then follow the same pattern again. So triangles connected to the center. This one, you need to put the triangle first. Actually, you can't put that one. So what we do is to not disturb the minis. For the helis, let's put the frame like that. That. And that's basically it. Now I forgot to put another way up, but you could put a ladder hatch in the center here. You can also make another way up above here or above there, whatever you want. It speaks for itself. I'd say we're still missing doors, and I haven't upgraded anything to armored. But for the initial like building upkeep, it's 5.4k on this one. I have to put this one ×2. Then we have this one, which is kind of a different way built, so it's different upkeep, 3k. And that ×2 on the other side as well. And for the main TC, we have 13k. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the initial build. Now I'm missing all the deployables, all the doors, everything. But again, for me, it's all about explaining you guys the build and not about where you're putting boxes. Although I like to go more into like key features about, for example, bedrooms and why you should put particular door like that or not, you know, instead of just placing down boxes and I don't know what, the like half of the video. So I hope you appreciate that. I hope you guys appreciate this build like this. And yeah, that was the build. Alright, so that was it, guys. I hope this video wasn't too long, and I hope this build can really help you in future wipes. I'm really a fan of this base, and I'm definitely using it myself a lot, and I have used it myself a lot already. Now, let me know in the comments if you're also using this base or if you have tried it, and let me know what you think of it. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of it, and I'm really curious to see if you guys are actually going to use this base. Now, if you made it all the way to the end, I want to thank you for watching. And I know a lot of you are wondering about solo duo bases. I actually am recording a duo series right now with a custom base, so there's definitely also smaller bases coming soon. I really like to base my base build videos on the wipes that I play myself, because this way you guys see a wipe series from me and you actually also see how the base is built, and that just makes the base a lot more relevant, and you guys might recognize it. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.